This video is going to be quite a quick one, just because there's a chance. That's all I'll say. The fact that Restore Britain could actually win. Already they've done a snap election, or snap poll, 10%. But they've only just launched a couple of days ago. And I'd play it here because I really hope this is a true awakening, people. Because it's got too bad. People need to wake up to it. And I think people are. It's about time. I'm
I have
somebody who wants to
chosen
have
to
a farm.
speak to you today from the farm because places like this represent what proper Britain is about. Hard work, responsibility, effort, duty, stewardship. This is the England I know, and this is the England that I love. On a farm, you don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations.
And obviously farmers deserve unbelievable amounts of respect because they are the most important thing in any country, regardless of what farmers. Even if your country lives in completely vegan society, you need to focus on farmers. They are the most important thing in the world, really. They try and automate it. It doesn't get automated that well because we've not got the technology, but we've automated it to a point where less people are required. So you only need like a couple of people to run a farm, a massive farm, which could feed thousands. So they need to focus more on farmers rather than focus on major cities, which they don't matter as much because they're not important. Even the service industry. The service industry is not as important as the farming industry and all that sort of stuff. Food production is the most important part. I'll basically play the whole video because it's just amazing, and I hope this is a true awakening. Not in the sense of whoa or any BS like that. Hopefully people wake up to the people who hate this country, despise this country, and people who take advantage of it. I know people who are near me who take advantage of all the systems because they can. Why not?
In what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party. I'm now going to dedicate my life to finding, organising, funding, and providing hundreds of qualified candidates to present to the British people at the next general election. This process has already started, with invitations being issued to patriots in aligned political parties.
One thing I've got to say is that's most likely people who are part of it, but not like a major part. Somebody was saying before that why would you want the Conservatives to join you? They would have left ages ago. They would have gone for a reform, even if reform's not brilliant, or at least a change. But I think he basically means people who follow reform and reform as well, but the Conservatives, they're not a major part in it. Hopefully, anyway, because otherwise he could choose the wrong sort of people, or the wrong sort of people could respond. People who think that, oh yeah, we're going to win now, because they don't care about the country, they don't care about the people, they just care about power.
Form, the Conservatives, the SDP, Advance, and more. In local politics, we will work in partnership with localised political parties, such as Great Yarmouth First, that have the best interests of their residents at heart, combining our forces at the next general election. The men and women standing for Restore in that election will not be politicians. I promise you that. They will not be failed ministers. They will not be tainted by failures of the past. They will be from business, from the military, from science, from medicine, from education, from industry, representing real communities up and down the country.
The problem with it being medical, education, stuff like that, a lot of those are kind of the issue, but hopefully it selects the right people when it comes to that. Because a lot of those people push agendas, just try and destroy this country in different ways. The reason why all this started is decades ago with Yuri Bezmenov. Well, not him specifically, but he spoke of it, where it's like the communists, the Soviets pushing the changes to the education system, which would take like 30 years to kick in.
Every single one will be from well outside the existing political establishment, and every single one will understand the difficult decisions that need to be taken. Because there are no easy fixes.
Good to that, but hopefully it's a bit like with the Argentinian Prime Minister. I don't know if there's Prime Minister or President, but he's talking about the hard decisions. And Argentina has recovered so much within a short space of time compared to what they were. They're suddenly a lot better than what they were.
I'm not going to tell you comforting lies about the condition of our country. I have only ever been honest with the British people, and I will be straight with you now. What is necessary will be incredibly painful. But for the first time in a very long
We
time,
need it.
voters will have a genuine alternative which is truthful with them about the scale of what now has to be done. The first priority is to control who comes to our country, and more importantly,
Vetting.
who stays in our country.
Don't know why vetting isn't a thing to begin
Restore
with.
Britain will not just stop mass immigration, we will reverse it. Every single illegal migrant will be securely detained and then deported.
Good.
The message will be unrelenting. If you are in this country without our permission, you will be removed. For the foreseeable future, far more people must leave Britain than arrive.
Good.
If a foreign national is unable to speak English, lives in social housing, claims benefits, refuses to work, fails to integrate, commits crime, or even actively hates our way of life and wishes to do us harm, then they must leave or be made to leave.
Good.
Restore Britain will make our communities safe again for women and children. That I promise you. If that means millions go, then millions go. We're
Millions who
constantly
shouldn't be here
told
to
that
begin
the
with.
economy needs vast swathes of low-skilled migrants. We know that's simply not true. What we need is to get millions of healthy Brits back into work. A radical overhaul of how welfare is delivered. Protecting those in genuine need, but not funding healthy shirkers to live off the back of hard-working men and women.
Healthy shirkers can be people who aren't completely healthy, obviously. Like people who, in some cases, might struggle to walk. Like obviously they can still work, they just can't walk, so they can work in an office or something like that. But I don't know why we've allowed that to happen.
If you can work, you must work. It really is that simple.
Good.
Restore Britain will be abundantly clear. If you consistently refuse work, then you will lose your benefits. We will punish indolence, and more importantly, we will reward success. We will provide vast economic incentives for men and women to start businesses,
Good.
generate opportunities, build wealth, and create self-sufficient families. Standing here today on the farm, I know exactly what it means to deal with energy bills, labour shortages, regulation, unproductive paperwork, planning restrictions, tax, and endless uncertainty. The state has definitively become the enemy of the people.
And we should be able to be self-sufficient. Like, as a country, we have a lot of farmland. Right now, the houses being built aren't for native-born people because we're losing population. We need to focus more on farming, encourage people to have kids, stuff like that. But it needs to change.
Restore Britain will burn away suffocating taxes
Good.
on work and enterprise. We will slash unnecessary regulation.
Good.
We will dismantle bloated quangos and the overbearing HR culture.
Absolutely. Because the HR, way too much. The fact that you could say something slightly wrong to somebody and then you get fired. Like, even if you don't intentionally say something bad, because I'll get fired for that.
We must crush parasitic Britain.
Yes.
We will restore long-term, stable, logical policy so that businesses can plan and invest and grow again. But Restore Britain is about much more than numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about who we are as a nation and who we are as a people. Britain is not just an economy. Britain is not just an idea. Britain is not just a passport. Britain is a nation. Britain is a people, our people. And Restore Britain will never allow that to be erased. We will celebrate our Christian heritage and the identity that built and shaped.
Good. Even though I'm not religious, never will be, we're culturally Christian. Like our ideas, even the ideas of freedom, are basically originated from Christianity, because Britain shaped the world with freedom, or the West more specifically with freedom, because of our Christian origin. So I'm not religious, but I would never not call myself Christian culturally.
This country. Responsibility, restraint, forgiveness, duty, and fairness.
Good.
In short, a high-trust society. That will mean defending our culture. That will mean resisting the relentless creep of radical Islam.
Absolutely.
That will mean banning the burqa, outlawing Sharia law, blocking cousin marriages, and reimposing our Christian-based rule of law.
Apparently with cousin marriages, it's already illegal, just not enforced. I don't know for sure if that's true, but it needs to be enforced, because why should everyone else have to pay for you wanting to have a kid with your cousin? Which is disturbing to begin with, but the fact that everyone else would have to pay, even if somebody's born in this country, lives in this country, is alright 99% of the time, why should people have to pay for your children if they're inbred? They've got issues from inbreeding. Why should we have to pay that? But we need to wake up to it, and I hope this is a true awakening.
Restore Britain government would legislate to ensure that no halal or kosher slaughter on British soil.
Good.
This is Britain, and we will do things our way. This political party now exists for one reason: to restore Britain, to make it a better, safer, and more prosperous place for British men and women to raise their families. It will be difficult and it will be painful, but I assure you, it is possible. I hope you will consider joining me on this journey and becoming a member of our party. It is our country. It is now our collective responsibility to act. Together, we will restore Britain. Thank you.
I'm not somebody who's ever voted before, and I was thinking about voting for reform, but seeing that, I think I'm going to vote for Restore Britain. They actually seem to care, or specifically Rupert Lowe seems to care, so hopefully the people he chooses are good, because otherwise it's another lost cause. But I really hope people keep waking up to it and stopping the BS happening, because it needs to end. It's a joke at this point. But yeah, I'll end this recording here, and it seems like people might see this, because obviously I saw the Amelia one, but either way, hopefully you enjoyed regardless.